myself in the mirror.
Right.
And
What did you see?
wait, I'm gonna start crying. Hold on.
Take your time.
It was showing me that I wasn't very happy here. I wasn't happy here. Like I needed to be more happy here, and I needed to find to smile and laugh and find happiness here. That I didn't have that here. I needed to work on that. And I did think I had happiness, or maybe I just thought I was happy. I don't know, but I needed to be more happy. That's what I needed to work on. That I really wasn't happy here. Sorry. This is just very emotional for me.
Take your time.
Sorry. On this, like certain parts when I talk about it, I get emotional. And it's usually at parts like this that I know, and I don't know. I don't talk about it.
Scary.
I don't talk about it.
Right.
I don't share my information with nobody really. So it's hard. So sorry.
No, it's okay.
So, so I wasn't very happy is what he was showing me. And then I heard a man's voice. Very clear, very stern, space between his words. And he said, "I'm pleased with you. I'm going to bless you 3 times. But I want to tell you, you're going to go through something very, very bad, but you're going to be okay. You're going to make it." And he told me, faith, 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 strong faith. Anna, love, let go of my hand. She walked off and disappeared. Like just, boom, she was gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah. And so, I wasn't allowed, I believe that was God. He's very big. Very big. When he talked, it was with authority and power. I felt like anything that you wanted to say, you might as well just give it up.
Yeah.
Anything that you had on your mind, he already knows.
Yeah.
He's very powerful. I got that. I believe in my heart that there was no crying, no begging, no pleading. It is what it is that I would have to go through. Whatever is that I had to go through, that he was letting me know that you're going to go through this. So he was telling me, I think basically letting me know that it's going to happen, and to have the faith in the time that I'm going through it, that I have to keep the faith.
Yes.
That I have to have faith. Faith is what's going to bring me out of it. And so, yeah, I remember sitting into church, and I used to think, I hear, all the young ladies say, "Oh, when I get to heaven and I see Jesus, I'm going to ask him why this and why that." But they're so wrong. They're not going to be asking him anything. He already knows everything before you can even, you won't even say anything to him about that.
Right.
So she, Anna Love, disappears. She walks off, goes, and then I'm coming back. I leave, but I didn't come right back. I went onto, I know this is going to sound strange, because it sounds strange to me. I went to a spaceship. Now, when I went inside, I didn't know it was a spaceship. I just went inside.
Right.
I'm thinking I'm probably, back at my body at the house, but I wasn't. I got inside the ship. I looked all around, and I'm thinking in my head, where am I? What is this? What's this place? And then I looked towards the wall, and I seen this alien. Yeah, alien.
Wow. Okay.
And it wasn't a small one. It must have been about 6 foot. And to me, if you saw the ant movie, it looks like the ants. It looks like Bug Life, the ant.
Yeah.
It's like tall and skinny.
Yeah.
That's to me what it looks like. Now, and he had the big eyes, and he had 3 fingers. It could have had 4. It was kind of dark in there, but it looked like he had 3 fingers, and he was leaning against the wall, but not leaning against the wall. He was so close to the wall, but then he slouched a little bit. Okay. He had 3 rolls, like up here of like his meat, like his
His flesh.
Yeah, but it wasn't flat. It was like rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, up here. And his eyes were open, and he didn't move. He was just like that, kind of slowly. And I thought to myself, oh, this is an alien. I was like tripping. This is an alien ship. Oh my gosh, why am I here? But I'm looking all around. I thought to myself, and it might be stupid, but I did. I said, oh, well, I'm dead. I'm in the spirit. He can't see me anyway, because
Right.
they're alive. Like,
Right.
they're creatures, like, they're alive. But I'm dead, so he can't see me. So I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared at all. I think the fact that I wasn't scared, though, was because I was dead, and I didn't think they could see dead people.
Right,
like,
right.
I didn't think that. So I'm looking all around the ship. It's kind of spacious ship. It wasn't too small. It wasn't too big. It had a blue LED light all around the center part of it. Okay. This plane, they don't have like pens, paper, cabinets, a wall clock. They don't have nothing. It's very empty and plain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They have a chair here inside the ship, a chair here inside the ship, the alien person there, an alien person there, and it was a high back chair. It did not have the armrest on the sides. It was just the
Just a chair.
tall,
Yeah.
and they were just sitting there, not moving, both of them. The one towards the wall wasn't moving. To me, it seemed like they were asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't blink their eyes, and they don't shut their eyes. Their eyes automatically stay open. So to me, they were just asleep, all of them.
Because they were
But
moving.
they weren't moving or doing anything. They were just,
Just
looked like they
there.
were asleep
Yeah.
with their eyes open. So I'm still looking, and there's this big tank. I don't even know if it was plastic or glass, but it was big tank, like a big tank. And it had the blue LED, the lights in it,
Uh-huh.
like the ones around the whole ship in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And there's a big tank with the LED blue light in the middle. Now, it was kind of dark inside there, but it had a little bit of light from the center,
Uh-huh.
the LED light, and then the center from the tank.
Uh-huh.
It had the blue light. So it was a little bit of light in there where you could see,
Right.
but it wasn't bright at all in there.
No. Okay.
Okay. So, and right here, where the two aliens are sitting here in the chair, there is around the tank, and the tank is in the middle. Around the tank, it goes all the way around, has square colored buttons around it. When I came in this side to the spaceship. The alien person that was standing against the wall was right there. I came in this way. That's why when I first came on, that's what first caught my attention was the alien person.
There.
Yeah. And then I made sure everything was cool before I start,
Right.
doing stuff. I want to make sure they ain't moving or if they can't. But I didn't think they could see me because I was dead. And so I reached over because the panel button things were here. So I had to reach over to play with the tank because the babies were in there. There was 2 babies in there and they had cords. It was like, I don't even know how big that would be. Like maybe 2 inches round.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just playing in there. They had bubble eyes. They didn't have the eyes of the alien.
No.
No, they didn't have them like that. And then people are mistaking. They say the eyes go right here. They go more further right here.
Right.
Because they see every direction.
Yeah.
Like right here where you're
Like
into
going
your
towards
temple.
your temple.
Right, but to the back part of your temple.
Okay.
Their eyes go way that far to right there. So, and then the meat in the front.
Uh-huh.
Like,
the three rolls. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but, yeah, so I reached over, because those panel button things were there, to play with the babies.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just smiling. They were so cute. To me, they looked like Cabbage Patch Kids.
Right.
They're
Little
kind of
Cabbage
chunky.
Patch dolls,
And they had the
right.
round
Big
eyes.
round eyes.
They did have big eyes, but they were rounder. And they were just so happy and playing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard a voice, a man's voice. He said, you're not supposed to be here.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, who's talking?
Right, I got the chills.
He said, you're not supposed to be here. Go!
Wow.
And so, okay, I heard that loud and clear. So I turn around and I'm looking at the alien by the wall, and he starts moving.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is alien, because I was out of there. I was like, boom. I ran across the two ones that were sitting in the front, back behind them, and I ran right off. And my spirit went straight back, the vacuum effect, boom, back into my body, sucked it back in. And I was thinking to myself, I hope they don't know where I live or where I don't. I wasn't supposed to be there.
That's crazy.
But I wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Nothing happened to me bad with them. But like I said, I don't study them. Like, they look like big gigantic bugs to me.
Mm-hmm.
They can see dead people clearly. They knew I was there when I started talking, and the babies were playing with me.
Now, would you say you've ever believed in aliens
No,
before that?
I didn't know. I was working 12-and-a-half-hour shifts, 4 hours to commute, 2 hours to work, 2 hours to get home from work. I had three daughters at the time. No, that was nothing. I'm like the person who's cooking dinner for the kids, working, paying bills, trying to buy nice clothes, watching, a little bit of TV here and there if I can. No, I didn't have time for any of that.
Right.
I didn't believe in that stuff. I went to church. I only studied the stuff that came from the Bible.
Right, exactly.
All that other stuff that was happening,
it's
just totally different.
Right.
See, we didn't study that either.
Wow.
So, but yes, aliens don't want to be bothered, and that's how I felt. And I wasn't supposed to be there.
Wow.
I felt like I wasn't supposed to. When I came back, I don't know what happened between there. Maybe there's somebody out there that can help me or answer some questions for me too. I don't know why.
Right. And that's why
because I
we're
didn't
doing
even believe
this
in
interview.
it.
We're trying to get answers that speak out. This is your story.
I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But he did run after me, and yeah, I got out of there real quick when I knew that he could see me, and I didn't think he could.
Right.
But now I'm here to tell the whole world that they're way far advanced.
Yeah.
And I felt like they lived there. Like they've been here forever.
Wow.
They live here with us, but they don't show themselves unless they want to be shown.
Right. Wow.
And that's how I feel. They just don't want to be bothered. But they are here. They live here with us.
Wow.
I don't know why people think that they live somewhere totally different, because they really don't. They're here with us.
Wow.
And that's just a feeling. Nobody told me that, but I feel that when I got that present, when he was talking, I felt like that.
Yeah, like you just felt everything that was going on with the words that were being said to you. Like, wait a minute, hold on. And like you said, you weren't afraid because you didn't think they could see you in the spirit.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and then like you said, this is not something that you believed in. I mean, how would you, before having this experience, how would you feel someone telling you this? How would you think? What would you feel someone
Well, I
telling
worked in the hospital for about 17 years. And I work with people that have mental illness, and you have to do 50 psych observations and reports and stuff. I would think somebody was crazy.
Yeah.
I would think, what kind of drugs are they on? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Like, I mean, it does. It sounds absolutely crazy. I agree with everybody who disagrees. I agree too.
Right,
like,
it's not, you didn't believe none of this stuff until you are experiencing it and it happened to you.
It does sound crazy.
It does.
It does sound crazy. Yeah. And yes, I've worked with lots of doctors, lots of nurses, lots of patients that have mental illness. I've never had mental illness.
Right.
I never had medication for depression or psych medicines. I've never been locked up for that. I never did any of those type of things.
Right.
Like, again, I was your average. I went to church 3 times a week. I prayed. I was married to an ordained minister. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs. I didn't even take a vitamin.
Yeah.
Okay? Not even a vitamin. I had children. I had a full-time job, and at the time I was working, before I worked a 12-hour shift, I worked 8 hours, and plus I went to school.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that much TV because I didn't have time,
Right.
you know.
You were always
And so,
busy.
yeah.
You were busy trying to live the life that you were told you gotta live.
Right,
Yeah.
with all the extra stuff coming in,
Yeah.
and I tried to push it away and avoid it because I knew I still had to do life. I still
Right.
had bills coming. I couldn't just stop to think about this. I have to keep it moving, even though these things were happening to me.
Right. So you would say, you know, you had your first NDE when you were mid to late 20s, married to your first husband. Second event you had July 2012. And then so
I had
you had
4 daughters.
4
So I had
daughters.
another child,
Okay.
another daughter, and yeah.
All right. And then, so you had those 2 experiences. And then you did say, though, that you were kind of experiencing certain things, though, since you were a child. Would you care to talk about those things?
Well, I want to tell you about the third out-of-body experience.
Okay, we'll go into that
then
first, and then we'll go back into your other experiences in general. So let's talk
Okay.
about your third one.
Okay, so I'll tell you about the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like every time I'm going to sleep, I'm dying in my sleep.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The third one was, again, it was a whole nother different picture, different scenario here. I went back to the apartment building that we lived in growing up. I lived there for about 17 years.
Okay.
Okay? And this was in Richmond, California. And my mom stayed in this apartment building for years. And we had events happening there in that apartment building.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to share with some of the events that were happening in that apartment.
Okay.
All this stuff started recognizing and being scared at that same apartment building in Richmond, California. There was a fork that flew from the kitchen into the wall and stuck in the wall.
Wow.
Okay, that was one experience. The second experience was the hall. There's a bathroom in the hall, and it was a 2-bedroom. And my bedroom was right next to the bathroom. The bathroom light would come on by itself at night. We'll turn it off, and it'll come back on again. That was another experience. And then my mom, she had got thrown from her bed. I know this all sounds crazy.
Right.
I've been dealing with this from a long time, ever since I was about 7 years old.
So these are experiences that happened in the house when you were younger.
In the apartment building.
Before your third NDE.
Right, this was
Okay.
before.
Okay.
But the third NDE was based on this
the
apartment building.
of
Okay.
the things you experienced when
Right.
you were younger. Okay.
Right.
It's kind of like you doubled back to find some answers.
Right,
Okay.
starting back from the experiences before when I got to what they were showing me.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so my mom got thrown, well, not thrown, but placed in between her nightstand and her bed. When she got up, she was on the floor in between her nightstand and her bed. Okay, she got off the floor, she didn't know, like, what's going on, why is this happening, and then she had a ring that she lost out of the window. She smoked cigarettes, so she put her hand out the window, and she lost her ring. But that night, she was thinking about it a lot, and she was twirling her finger, and the ring was back on her finger.
Wow. It's like something placed her right there.
Yes.
When she's waking up thinking about it. What happened? I thought I lost it. I thought it went out the window.
Yes,
Wow.
so after that happened, my mom was noticing all these things. She was like, she thought we had a poltergeist or something in the house. She was trying to call people to come bless the house and do all these things. You know, when I heard my mom saying all this and she was sharing, you know, what's happening, and you could tell my mom, she was scared.
Yeah.
She was frightened.
I can only imagine, I bet.
I had already had feelings because I heard like the box move in the closet, and I rocked my head on my sister's back.
Right.
So I wouldn't hear it. I'm trying to like.
Right, trying to tune it out.
Yeah,
You
I'm
don't
trying
wanna
to
hear
do
it.
something to get away from hearing noise and stuff like that. And so I would ask my sister, can I rock my head on your back? And she'd say yes, and I did, just to, like, you know,
Right.
not think about the other things that were going on. So I did that for several years.
Wow.
And so I don't recall if somebody came into the house or not. Maybe somebody did while we were at school. I never asked my mom that.
Right.
But yeah. But those are the things that happened. So my third NDE, I went back to that same, they took me back to that apartment building,
Wow.
and there was 2 spirits sitting on the couch, 1 spirit in the kitchen, and 1 in the hallway where the bathroom is.
Wow.
Okay, so the spirit in the hall, by the bathroom in the hall, was, it looked like a homeless man. Like, he was kind of rugged, dirty. He looked, and he was just rocking, facing the wall, rocking like this. The one in the kitchen looked the same. He looked kind of, you know, kind of grubby, and he was just rocking back and forth. There were 2 male rocking back and forth. There was no light on them. They looked like they were just in dark.
Right, darkness.
But not dark, but
Right,
dark.
dim.
Right.
It wasn't shining
Right,
light,
exactly.
and it wasn't pitch black dark.
Right.
Okay.
You could see they were clearly men.
Yeah.
On the couch, there was 2 spirits there. It was a American lady, and then there was not an American lady. She was white. She was white, and then there was a Asian young man, about 30 years old, and I look up at them, and they had light around them. You could see them very clearly.
Right.
Okay. And I said, why does this keep happening to me? Why am I keep dying? I don't want to do this. And they said, honey, you have anaphylactic.
Wow.
You have anaphylactic. And she was clearly smiling like she was happy.
All right.
And I'm wondering, like, I don't want to do this. I have anaphylactic.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just immediately came back. I sucked right back. I don't know if it's because I was saying I don't want to do this, or I don't know why. I just came back. I sucked back real fast. And I was in the Antioch house when that happened too, for the third NDE.
Right.
But it took me back to that apartment place, and it was showing me. But I think I have an idea. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. That the bathroom, the guy that was in the bathroom, he's the one that's probably turning on the lights and stuff, and the one in the kitchen is probably the one who threw the cord.
Right.
I think those are souls that are just lost. They stay here, that they haven't passed over, that they just stay there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know if somebody's out there that can help me with that.
Right, reach out, please.
Please shed light on that, because I don't know. This is like I'm just coming out now. You know, I'm no longer working at the hospital. I'm medically retired, and I feel like I need someone to talk to, because these things are happening to me, and I don't burn a candle. I don't rub on rocks. I don't talk to, like,
right. It's not, you don't channel
people.
right. You're not
Yeah,
channeling
I don't
people.
do it.
You don't do.
I
You're
don't
not.
do
You're
any of
not
those
trying
things.
to reach out to have
Yes,
this stuff.
please.
It's just happening.
Please,
to you.
church members, Christian brothers and sisters, every religion that's out there, please don't think
Right.
that I'm trying to do that kind of stuff, because I always was taught that you don't mess with that. You do not do that.
Right.
So I never did that. This just is, I'm very sensitive to the other side. This is what's happening to me.
Right.
So,
Wow.
and I don't know when it's coming, and I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know what people say about turning it on, turn it off. Okay, I don't even understand that.
Right. You don't understand.
I don't
You
know.
just, it happens and you experience it.
And it's
You
been-
know you're not hallucinating. You know it's
No.
not a dream.
It's
you
not
know.
from no drugs.
Nope.
I was 7. No, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that's why I'm putting it out. There's other people like me, or if anybody else wants to share their story, I'm open up to listen to them too.
Right.
And if you know, why am I going through this, and why is all this stuff being given to me, and I'm not even asked for it, like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Because I have all these feelings, and they're strong feelings, and I get senses. When I came back from not the first event, but the second event in 2012, I had a high sense of knowing things. Like, I knew my daughter was going to choke on bacon. I told my husband, don't give her that bacon, she's going to choke on it. As soon as she ate the bacon, she choked on it. I had to put my hands down her throat to get the bacon. I just know a lot of things.
Yeah.
I knew the earthquake in Napa was going to happen. I told some co-workers, but there's an earthquake. It's going to be really bad. And sure enough, the earthquake in Napa happened. So I don't know the timing of things, but I can know things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sense things and I know things.
Right. And when you sense them, do you take the initiative to reach out to whoever it's about? Like,
sometimes I do, and then sometimes I don't.
okay.
Sometimes.
Now, are the times that you don't, do you feel like you don't because you're unsure, or you don't because something's just telling you not to act on it?
Okay. Sometimes I do when it's a strong feeling. I do when I feel like it's a real strong urgency to do so. If it's, something little, then I don't. But if I see somebody like that's going to get shot, or something bad is going to happen, or somebody's going to hurt them, then yeah, I try to tell them ahead of time to be careful, watch your back. Don't go to that certain gas station because somebody's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I've said that to some people before. I did tell them.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like they don't want to listen, but,
Yeah.
and again, I don't know the timing, but I could know
You
things.
feel something.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just like when I came to live here, I didn't necessarily want to move, but the Lord said you have to move.
Something told
Just
you.
clear, move. You have to move. You're going to lose everything. I get little pieces. I don't get like a whole lot. I get little pieces. And here I was doing a 51-50 with a patient that I had to watch so they wouldn't harm themselves. And it was nighttime. Patient was asleep. I'm just sitting there and the Lord said, move. And I'm like, move? What do you mean move? Move. You can't, you're going to lose everything. You need to move. So, okay, I'm going to move. I need to move. And I told a coworker, I didn't even tell my husband. I shared it with the coworker, like, oh, I'm going to be moving soon. I need to move. God said I needed to move. And she's like, what? Yeah, what do you mean move? Where are you going to move to? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm moving because God said I needed to move.
Right.
Now we don't know the reasons to all things, and I never did. I just listened.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how we were going to move because I didn't have any money.
Right.
California, everything costs a lot of money.
It's expensive.
So you can't just pick up and move.
No.
But I said I'm going to talk to my husband and see if we can sell the house and see if we have any money in it so we can move. Because I didn't even know. But
Right.
I took him out to dinner. I told my coworker everything I was going to do. And I did. I took my husband and said, we have to move. Can we move? Can you check and see if there's money so we can move? And I said, God said we needed to move. Now, granted, we didn't have jobs out here or anything. We just had to pick up our whole lives and kids and move.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what we did. And he agreed with me, and we just left.
Wow.
And it's been pretty okay here, but I think everything, if you listen to what you're supposed to do, you won't see it at the time when you're doing it, but you could see the whole plan if you go back years later. You can see why it was set up.
Yeah.
I can see it clearly now why I retired, why I had to retire. And then we moved here, and it was better for my husband. He didn't have a job. I was flying back and forth from where I live to California to work.
Yeah.
Hour and 20 minutes away from California, and to go back to work like 3 times a week for 2 years. And my husband didn't even have a job. And then he finally got a job and worked.
Yeah.
But we came here, bought the house, paid back the bank, did everything we had to do, and everything was done so right. And I always questioned myself, was this timing right? And the Lord just showed me that it was.
Yeah.
Because it was like as soon as we got here, and then in January I got the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I got a blood clot in my lung. And I'm thinking in my head that that's what he said. In 2012 I was going to go through something very, very bad, but I was going to be okay and I was going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was what it was.
Yeah. Because, especially, just a little background, I've known Miss Charlene for many, many years since I was a kid, and hearing her story and just me replaying the events that I have known you, and it's beyond a miracle. It's beyond amazing how in tune you've been to these things happening to you, to where you just so happened to medically retire right before the coronavirus hit, right? You know, all of these things that happened, to where, imagine if you wouldn't have moved, you were still there, and all of this stuff happening, you could have lost your, which you have an amazing job.
Yes.
But it could have been taken away from you just like that, just like many other people who have suffered through this pandemic time period, you know?
Yes.
And like you said, you're able to, you were questioning it in the moment in time, like, am I doing this in the right timing? Am I doing this how you want me to do it? And you're questioning, but then now that it's done and it's happened, and you look back on it, it's amazing how it all played out.
Yes.
You know, like, again, who knows how things could have been, and
if I had not listened,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it would have been. Of course, I would have been fired, because I would have missed so much work.
yeah,
I had pneumonia right after the blood clot and scar tissue, and still have a little problem with breathing.
yeah.
You know, I have my machine, but it did left some damage.
Yeah.
You know, I have scar tissue there, and yes, it's been pretty rough, but I'm hanging in there.
Right, exactly. You know, and then it's I definitely, I'm amazed by the story. You know, I'm amazed by your series of events that you've gone through, you know, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people who, just hearing your testimony, hearing what's happened to you, there's somebody somewhere, oh my gosh, I went through that too. I know what she's talking about. I've experienced something similar like that. But what amazes me is, again, I've known you for so long, and it's true. You've never believed in aliens. You've never, you know, it's like, well, what are you talking about? You know, it's like church, like you, I mean, even in a sense, you know, it's just like you've helped me keep a connection with God and that higher self of being empowered, to where I may not know it all, but I know enough to what I've seen and